Battle Through the Heavens. Chapter 137. The Cold Queen awakes before the final desperate gambit. The command to bury their shared memories still lingers heavily in the silence of the mountain cave. Yet, as the struggle for power reaches its peak, Xiaoyan finds himself once again facing the cold edge of Yunji's steel. In this fragile moment of confrontation, the distance between their worlds is tested by a reality that neither can truly cast aside.
The cold steel of the blade pressed against his throat. Xiaoyan felt his skin prickle with goosebumps. He raised his hands slowly to show they were empty and let out a bitter laugh.
I did nothing to wrong you,
he said. A flush of red crept onto Yunji's icy face. She knew he had not crossed the line, but the intimacy of the moment felt just as heavy. Her grip on the sword remained firm. She looked at his face and saw the red mark of a fresh palm print. He had slapped himself hard to stay awake and focused. Her eyes softened for a fleeting second. She pulled the sword back and lowered her arm, her shoulders slumping with exhaustion. She turned and walked deeper into the cave, the blade brushing against Xiaoyan's shoulder as she passed. "We will act as if today never happened," she said, her voice flat.
If you tell anyone, I will kill you.
Xiaoyan stood frozen. He watched her graceful silhouette and closed his eyes, exhaling a long, ragged breath. He knew the truth of their situation. To her, he was just a toad at the bottom of a well, looking up at a swan. She was a Dou Huang, a powerhouse of the empire. She was only here because of a stroke of bad luck. Once she recovered, the sky would be hers again, and he would still be in the mud. The gap between them was a chasm he could not cross. Perhaps one day he would reach her level, but that day was not today. A woman as proud as her would never believe a lowly doge could ever stand beside her, no matter how much talent he possessed. It was nothing more than a fever dream. Xiaoyan shook his head and walked back into the cave. He saw her sitting there, eyes closed, fighting to shatter the seal on her power. He sat down and began to circulate his Dou Qi in silence. The air between them had changed. After the embarrassment of the morning, the easy comfort they had shared was gone. They stayed like that until noon. Xiaoyan went out to catch fish and returned to build a fire. He felt the weight of her gaze on him while he worked. When he looked up, their eyes met for a split second before they both looked away. He pulled a roasted fish from the spit and held it out to her.
Eat. I am not hungry,
she replied. Her stomach betrayed her immediately with a sharp growl. She kept her eyes shut, trying to ignore the protest of her own body.
Don't worry,
Xiaoyan said with a dry grin.
I threw the medicine out.
She opened her eyes and looked at the smiling youth by the fire. He looked harmless, almost innocent. She sighed and took the fish, taking a small, careful bite.
Be careful,
he warned.
It's hot.
She glanced at him.
Have you ever met a Dou Huang who was afraid of a little heat?
Xiaoyan laughed awkwardly and began to scarf down his own meal. They ate in silence until she spoke again.
Tomorrow, I will break the seal.
Xiaoyan stopped chewing. He swallowed the mouthful of fish, but it felt like lead in his stomach. He knew that once her strength returned, their time together was over. She would be the high and mighty commander again, and he would be just another face in the crowd.
Is that so?
He asked, his voice thick.
Congratulations.
I'm going back for the amethyst-winged Lion King,
she continued.
I almost wish you stayed sealed.
Xiaoyan muttered into his food. Yunji's brows snapped together. She threw the remains of her fish at him.
Watch your mouth, you brat.
He caught the fish and saw the tiny teeth marks she had left on it. He grinned and started eating the rest of it himself. She watched him eat her leftovers, her face burning.
Go ahead, then.
She snapped.
Eat until you choke to death.
After the meal, Xiaoyan leaned back.
I know it's a stupid question, but do you need help?
Yunji hesitated. She looked at him for a long time before nodding.
The purple spirit crystal is kept inside the king's cave. I tried to sneak in last time, but it caught my scent. Tomorrow, I will draw the beast out. While I have it occupied, you must slip inside and find the crystal.
I'm just a doge.
Xiaoyan said, spreading his hands.
Any rank 3 beast in there will tear me apart.
You won't be going in as you are.
She said.
Once my seal is broken, I can use a secret technique to temporarily boost your strength. The king's den is usually empty of other beasts. They don't dare enter his territory.
Xiaoyan nodded. She pulled a hexagonal crystal from her storage ring and handed it to him.
Wear this. It will heat up when you get close to the purple spirit crystal.
He hung it around his neck.
I'll do my best.
The conversation died there. Xiaoyan crossed his legs and went back to his meditation. Yunji watched him from the stone bed for a long time. She eventually lay down and whispered to the shadows.
Sleep now. Tomorrow, all of this becomes the past.
Later that night, Xiaoyan opened his eyes. He looked at the sleeping woman, his gaze lingering on the curve of her face. He knew this was likely the last time he would see her like this. He pulled a heavy black cloak from his ring and draped it gently over her shoulders. Then he shouldered his heavy Xuan ruler and walked out to the cave entrance to keep watch through the night. Yunji opened her eyes the moment he stepped out. She felt the warmth of the cloak. Her heart, usually as still as a frozen lake, gave a sharp, painful thud. She sighed, and the sound faded into the darkness. When morning light hit the cave, Xiaoyan woke from a light doze. He turned and saw her sitting on the stone bed. She had changed into a fresh white dress. Her hair was coiled into a regal phoenix shape. The weakness was gone. Her face was cold, elegant, and distant.
Are you awake?
She asked. Her voice was clear but sharp, like ice cracking. It was the voice of a stranger. Xiaoyan stood up and exhaled.
The seal is gone?
Yes.
She stood up and moved toward the exit with a grace that felt like a barrier.
Let's go. I will give you the strength you need.
Xiaoyan watched her back as she walked out.
I liked the Yunji from a few days ago. I don't like this one at all.
Her back stiffened. She stopped for a heartbeat, then kept walking without looking back.